Warning. Patrick Davis is a country music singer-songwriter originally from Camden, South Carolina, who now lives in Nashville, Tennessee. While Patrick is a USC alumnus and a huge Gamecock fan, he is definitely not a professional interviewer. Enjoy.
Well, I barely slept a wink last night, 'cause I could hardly wait to wake up this morning on game day. So as soon as I heard that rooster crow, I set off on the road, straight down I-20 to the capital city where the pretty Carolina girls go. 'Cause I've heard all the stories of the great George Rogers, and out back in 1980, he made the whole nation holler. And I've seen that photograph of young Steve Tannehill up in old Death Valley, signing his name on the field. Yeah, and I love to hear 2001 if Phil Williams, Bryce Rock. Yeah, what else can I say? Until my dying day, I'll be a South Carolina Gamecock.
You're watching Patrick Davis and his big old Gamecock. Great interviews. So I'm sitting here with Reed Morton, who was a very accurate and a great field goal kicker for the University of South Carolina. He actually told me earlier that I prayed for a lot of his kicks, and that is the truth. Between 93 and 96, a lot of his kicks decided football games. So thank you so much for coming in here, man. First question, what was your favorite part of game day at USC?
There's a time right as you come into the locker room before the game.
Okay.
Coach has everybody set up and you're ready to go, and we're going through the game plan. And right when those doors open, the officials come to get the captains. You hear, K.
Yeah.
Ka.
Yeah.
And at that point, if Coach hasn't said what he needs to say, it doesn't matter.
Oh, wow.
Because it's like a bunch of 6-year-olds on the last day of school, you know? Yeah. The bell rings. It doesn't matter. It's time to play football in Columbia. Yeah. I'm getting chills right now.
Yeah. So why do you think the vast majority of beautiful South Carolina women either attend or cheer for the University of South Carolina versus, say, another school in the state like Clemson?
I think it's mostly because this is where all the talent is. It's where the best-looking men are.
No.
10s follow 10s.
Yes.
This is where all the talent is. It's where the best-looking men are.
No.
10s follow 10s.
Yes.
This is where all the talent is. It's where the best-looking men are.
No.
10s follow 10s.
Yes, they do. When you think about Heisman Trophy winner and former Gamecock running back George Rogers and his running style, what do you think of?
Like a freight train, like a locomotive.
Yeah.
It's just powerful. I see the videos, and George and I are still very good friends. And I actually stole a DVD. I don't know if he knows this or not. Keep this off. I stole one of his DVDs from the Heisman Trophy campaign, and it is amazing what this guy could do.
Steve Tannehill's mullet was A, amazing, B, a product of the 90s, C, the most amazing thing to ever touch the back of a Gamecock jersey, or D, all of the above.
I'd go with E. It was a choking hazard. He used to eat like this, and it would get in his face all the time.
So during your playing days, what was the loudest you ever heard Williams Bryce?
Wow, that's a great question. I think when Hank Campbell stopped that 2-point play against Tennessee, I think that might be the most incredible moment I've ever seen on the football field.
And that was Halloween Day
in '92.
'92. So
right.
that was the year before you
I
got
was
here.
there on a recruiting visit.
Oh, you were. Oh.
And I think everybody that was at that
good
recruiting
game.
visit, they all
game.
came to Carolina. So we're looking around. He stops him, and all these cups start showering down from the upper deck. I mean, it was amazing. It was like nothing I've ever seen.
Did you always know that you wanted to be a Gamecock?
Yes.
You did?
From the first time I ever watched college football.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something about being a South Carolina fan. You know, my parents were South Carolina fans. It just it's in the blood. It continues on. I never really considered anywhere else.
What do you consider your greatest moment as a Gamecock football player?
Probably the CarQuest Bowl. I got hurt in that game. I made 2 tackles in that game, which is really kind of fun for me because as a kicker, I get to dog everybody that only made 1 tackle in that game.
So if we would have beaten Navy on that cold day in November in 1984, would we have won the national championship?
No doubt.
Would we have stopped global warming?
Maybe.
Would we have stopped the Backstreet Boys?
You couldn't stop there. The Backstreet's back.
What was your biggest rival in the SEC?
The biggest rival had to be Georgia.
Yeah.
His first game of the year. My first game as a college football player. Brandon went over the top.
Yeah.
You learn a lot about just about football in general. You know, you played in front of maybe 8,000 people. You played in front of 88,000 people. I'll tell you a funny story from that game. I was coming out from the locker room in that game and got hit with a hot dog on the way out of the stadium, right? And, of course, I've got DeBoer and Brandon Bennett, and they're like, welcome to the SEC. You know, here I am.
What do you think about Georgia students and student athletes actually being able to graduate from college believing that the correct way to spell dog is D-A-W-G?
Well, it goes in line with kind of their entire curriculum at the University of Georgia. You know, they don't have spell check in Georgia at all.
Yeah. They don't have computers in Georgia, from what I've been told.
Well, I mean, I think they have calculators now. Well, they've got slide rules. They don't have, I'm sorry.
This is multiple choice. If Irving Meyer and Tim Tebow had a baby,
okay,
it would look like A, Lane Kiffin, B,
Oh, no.
Satan, or C, it's a trick question because Lane Kiffin and Satan are the same person.
See, absolutely. Actually, I think you're really kind of throwing Satan under the bus.
If you could have played with one Gamecock, either it's playing today or that played before your time, who would that be?
I tell you, it would be Colin Mackey. I probably wouldn't have played much.
Yeah.
Well, he was always my idol growing up.
Yeah.
He won the MVP, I think, in maybe '88. He was
Wow.
the team MVP.
That is insane.
Which is pretty amazing.
That is
A kicker,
amazing.
that's like winning the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
You know, and you all get the video games right. And maybe I'm the only one who did this, but you take the kicker and have him run every offensive play is a fake field goal, and you try to get the kicker to win a Heisman Trophy on SEGA football. And you know what? Those folks made me faster than I was, and maybe even a better kicker than I was.
Did you win the
But I
Heisman?
could not throw it at all. It was just embarrassing. And I didn't win the Heisman. They didn't even have me in the running. I guess there was some kind of like, this cannot happen in fake football ever to a kicker.
We need to get that fixed for Xbox.
Exactly. Kicker should be able to win the Heisman.
Why do you think Coach Spurrier's superhero costume of choice is a golf shirt and a visor versus, say, a unitard and a cape?
I think Spurrier would look great in a cape.
Yeah, I do too. I think he should wear one.
I think you can wear a golf shirt and a cape.
Yeah, that would
And
be
let me tell you something. If he started wearing a cape, you would see so many capes. This whole town would go cape crazy.
Given our total domination of Clemson over the past 2 years, do you ever believe that Clemson will beat us again?
At football?
Yeah.
No.
Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers?
Peyton Manning.
Tony Romo or Michael Vick?
Tony Romo.
Adrian Peterson or LaDainian Tomlinson?
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Joe Montana or Brett Favre?
Joe Montana.
Sidney Rice or Jerry Rice?
Sidney Rice.
Lady Gaga or Lady Antebellum?
Lady Gaga.
Dabo Sweeney or Scooby-Doo?
Shaggy? No, how about Scrappy Doo?
Scrappy-Doo, okay. Lou Holtz or Steve Spurrier?
Steve Spurrier.
Biggie or Tupac?
Well, that's the trick question. Tupac.
Groucho's Deli or Andy's Deli?
Groucho's.
5 Points or La Vista?
5 points.
Xbox or PlayStation?
SEGA.
I knew that's what was going to happen.
SEGA Genesis.
Hootie and the Blowfish or the Beatles?
Hootie.
Charleston or Myrtle Beach?
Charleston.
Tiger Woods or Ron Jeremy?
How about Congressman Weiner?
Chris Rock or Jerry Seinfeld?
Seinfeld.
Halle Berry or Scarlett Johansson?
Halle Berry.
Eva Mendes or Beyonce?
Do I have to choose?
Yeah. SEC or Pac-10?
SEC.
BCS or playoff?
Playoff.
Marcus Lattimore or any other back in the country?
Lattimore.
What's
Okay.
going on now, Reed?
I work with a pharmaceutical company.
Okay.
I spend about a third of my time in Chicago, a third of my time here in South Carolina and South Georgia. So actually I have a product that treats HIV patients.
Oh, wow.
And then I have a golf radio show I do on Saturday mornings on 107.5.
Well, good. Well, I'm a terrible golfer, so I will try to listen in.
Well, come on out and play.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
man.
for having me.
It's
I
really a
appreciate it.
pleasure, man.
All right.